Hi guys, my name is Jess and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is my first ever video, so if the quality is a little less than perfect, if it's not that great, I apologize, bear with me. If you hear barking in the background, that's Dax. He will be fine, I promise, even if he doesn't agree with me. The reason that I am making this channel is because I am a sober ex-bartender, and when I gave up drinking a few years back, I felt a little lost suddenly in a world without any alcohol. And other people I feel like may feel the same way. There has been a movement lately toward more sober curiosity, less alcohol, more non-alcoholic beverages on the market. And it's very, very cool to see, and I'm very happy to see that. So if I can be a small part of that, bring my expertise from behind the bar, share my knowledge, share some recipes I love, ingredients I love, things that I enjoy, then I would love to be a part of that movement. So thank you for joining me today, and let's dive right in. So today I'm going to be making 4 mocktails. They are my recipes, but they are very simple. They're loosely based on classic cocktail recipes that you may already know. They are refreshing, summery drinks. They only have 3 or 4 ingredients each, stuff you can get at your local grocery store. And as with any drink, any recipe that you make, you can adjust everything. If something's a little sweet for your liking, you can cut down on the sugar. If there's something you really do like, you can add more of it. That's the great thing about recipes, about creating your own drinks, is you can make it your own. There's really no hard and fast rules. Also, like I said earlier, on the market today, there is some really cool non-alcoholic spirits, distillates. There are some that imitate rum, tequila, those things. But there's also distillates that just have their own flavor profile completely. So that's some stuff you can play with as well. I can talk about that in a later video. But today, some tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need a couple of cocktail shakers. You're gonna need a jigger. This one I have, it has 2 ounces on one side, as well as a line that has 1.5 ounce measure on the inside, and the other side 1 ounce, and then lines on the inside to show where 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce, and 3/4 ounce are. Then we will need a muddler. We will need a cocktail strainer, also called a Hawthorne strainer, and a fine mesh or a tea strainer. And the idea with this is that it's going to get the particles of anything we muddle out of the drink, so it doesn't end up in the finished drink and could possibly make it a little less pleasant. But again, as with anything, if you don't have this, if you don't mind a little bit of extra fiber in your drink, that's fine too. So the first drink I'm going to be making today is a non-alcoholic or virgin mojito. So it's going to have all the same ingredients except for, of course, the rum. So a classic mojito has 4 ingredients. It's mint, lime, sugar, and soda water or seltzer. I'm also adding in cucumber to give it an extra layer of flavor and make it really nice and summery and a little bit complex. So I'm going to use about 6 to 8 mint leaves, a couple little sprigs worth. Fresh mint, if you have it, amazing. If not, just go to the grocery store. And I have a few slices of cucumber, I'd say about 3 or 4. I think I have 4. Throw that in. Then you're gonna get some simple syrup. You can pick this up at the store. Liquor stores all have it, even the grocery store. If you go to the section that has the non-alcoholic mixers, like the grenadine and the bitters, the roses, lime juice, all that stuff, usually there's simple syrup there as well. Or you can make your own. Very easy. It's why it's called simple syrup. It's just equal parts sugar and hot water. Mix those together. The hot water will dissolve the sugar, and you let it cool down. You're left with a equal part simple syrup. I just use regular white sugar. If you want to try something a little more interesting, you can use cane sugar, whatever you want. Try new things. It'll just add more flavor and make it all that more interesting. But today I just have white sugar simple syrup that I made here at home. So we're gonna add 1.5 ounces to our jigger and into the shaker. We're gonna take our muddler. We're gonna go in and give that a good muddle. The idea is just to, we're gonna break up the cucumber that's in there, we're gonna bruise the mint, we're gonna get all those nice essences out. And the reason why we put the simple syrup in there with it is so it has something to go into, so that it'll end up in our finished drink. Okay, so give that a good muddle. Then we're gonna go in with some fresh lime juice. Again, you can buy store-bought lime juice, but I really do recommend fresh for this if you can. It just has a much better flavor. It's just gonna make your drink really that much better. So we're gonna do 1.5 ounces. Add that to our shaker. And that's all you need for your shaker. So we're gonna get some ice. We're gonna add that in. Like a good handful is enough for this. Top our shaker. Give it a good hard shake. Then we're gonna get a highball glass full of ice. And we're gonna get our hawthorn strainer as well as our tea strainer and some soda water. Now I like to put a little bit in the bottom of the glass. I feel like it just helps to incorporate everything. And then we're gonna take our shaker tin with our hawthorn strainer, and you're gonna put the tea strainer underneath and strain one into the other. Try to get as much out as you can. Give it a little tap so it doesn't drip. I'm just gonna top it with a little bit more soda water. And that's it. Give it a nice garnish and you're good to go. So the next drink I'm gonna make today is gonna be sort of a riff on a margarita, loosely. I worked at a bar once where we did a pineapple and jalapeno margarita. So this is sort of the idea behind that. Again, there are non-alcoholic tequilas on the market. There's one called Almave, I believe, that is actually really good. If you wanna add something like that in, just cut back on the other ingredients, just sort of keep the same basic proportions, and I'm sure that'll be excellent as well. So, to start, I have some jalapenos. I don't really like spicy, so I have 3 here. I would say use 3 or 4, and if you want to take it another step toward making it a little bit less spicy, you can also take the seeds out. I've got about 3 slices here, so I'm going to put those in my shaker. Then on top of that, I'm going to take about 3/4 of an ounce of agave nectar. Again, if you want a little less sweet, you can use 1/2 ounce. You can play with it a little bit less. I'm gonna use about 3/4 of an ounce. Then I'm gonna take my muddler again. I'm gonna give that a little muddle. Bring out all the essence of the jalapeno and all the spicy heat that hurts. All right, get that step. Then on top of that, I'm going to take my fresh lime juice. And I'm gonna do about 1.5 ounces of fresh lime juice in the shaker. The last thing is you're gonna get some pineapple juice. If you have fresh, that's amazing. I don't have the patience, so this is store-bought, and I put it in a mason jar to look fancy. So I'm gonna do about 3 ounces. And I'm doing 3 ounces mostly because that is what fills the rocks glass I have. A little less than that is fine, whatever works. So again, I'm gonna get my ice. Put a good handful in my shaker. Top it off. Then I'm gonna take a rocks glass with ice. I get my strainers again. Since there's jalapeno in it, I wanna get my double strainer so that we can get the pieces of jalapeno out of your drink. Double strain into your rocks glass. Yep, probably a little bit much pineapple, but You get the idea. And you're finished. Next drink I'm gonna make, I call a blackberry smash. It's going to have fresh blackberries, rosemary, lemon juice, and simple syrup. We're gonna top it off with seltzer water. So to start, I've got about 6 to 8 blackberries. I think I got about 8 here because I really like the flavor. Put those in your shaker. Then we're going to take about a sprig of rosemary. Put that in there. Again, if you don't love rosemary, don't use it. Use less, use more if you like. Whatever you like. Then we're gonna get our simple syrup and we're gonna do 1.5 ounces, give or take, less if you like. And we're gonna give that a good muddle. Blackberries are delicious and they work really well in a muddled drink if you choose to do so. They give off so much juice and a beautiful color and they're just so delicious. Then I added some rosemary in there to complement the blackberries, just adds another layer of flavor, just makes the drink a little more interesting. Goes really well with blackberry. All right, we got that. Then we're going to take some fresh lemon juice. Do about 1.5 ounces of that. All right. Then we're gonna get our ice. Shake. Beautiful. All right, and we have a highball glass full of ice. And we're gonna get our 2 strainers. And like we did with the mojito, I'm gonna put a little bit of seltzer water in the bottom of the glass to start. And we're gonna double strain into our highball. There we go. Top with some more seltzer. Give it a nice sprig garnish. And that's it. So the last drink I'm gonna make is a riff on a cosmopolitan. So the nice thing about a cosmopolitan is that the base of it is vodka. So vodka really doesn't have any flavor on its own. So we can kind of just build off of the other flavors that are in the cocktail. So that would be lime juice, it would be triple sec, which is an orange liqueur. Sometimes people will use citrus vodka, which is a lemony flavor, and of course cranberry, which adds that nice pink hue that we see on Sex and the City when Carrie Bradshaw orders a cosmopolitan. So what I decided to do is for the orange and the lemon citrus flavor is I made a oleo sacrum. And oleo sacrum is you are taking the peels from the citrus fruits, you're mixing it with sugar, and the sugar will actually draw out the oils from the peels, which have a lot of flavor, and it makes a really beautiful syrup. You have to mix them together, let it sit for at least an hour, even up to overnight, and you'll be left with this really beautiful fragrant syrup. Now in that, I also added the juice back in from the citrus, so orange juice and lemon juice. Mix it all together, dissolve the sugar, and you're left with this really beautiful citrusy syrup. So I have that, I have fresh lime juice, and then to top it off for the cranberry component, I actually got a cranberry soda. It's a pretty basic cranberry soda. It's definitely a bit sweet. I would say if you can find something that's a little bit drier, that would be really nice too. And you can just adjust the recipe accordingly to consider that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with 1 ounce of the oleo sacrum, and I will link the recipe for the oleo sacrum down below. I'm gonna take 1 ounce of that. And then I'm going to take 1 ounce of fresh lime juice. and shake. All right. Now with this one, you don't really need the tea strainer. You can use it, and what that will do is take out some of the ice chips that are in the drink, the smaller little chips, but you don't really have to. So I'm not gonna do that for this. So I'm just gonna strain that mixture out. It's not gonna be a whole lot, but then I'm going to go in and top it with my cranberry soda. Drop the cap on the floor, and there you go, Cosmopolitan mocktail. That's all I have for today, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe, like the video. If you have any comments, I would love to answer your questions, and I hope to see you again in the future. Cheers.